Hey Steppers, just wanted to get together with you this week on Step 11. And I love Step 11 because it satisfies some of the questions people may have about two key things. Number one, this business of powerlessness. The step specifically says, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Now, for those who think or have this paradigm in their program that they're in fact powerless, are mistaken, because why would they have us in Step 11 praying for power? To carry out the knowledge of God's will for us. And for those of you who don't think that you can access God's will, it satisfies that question as well, because it's asking us to praying only for the knowledge of God's will for us. Okay, so we, number one, can access God's will for us, and number two, have the power to satisfy whatever inspiration God gives to us. He provides us with the inspiration, and we, in fact, have the willpower and the insight to carry out that will. Now, this business of prayer and meditation, it is such a remarkable resource that those who are not using those tools are missing out on a very vital part of the program. I've always pictured it as asking God questions, and asking God important questions like, what direction should my life take, or how should I behave in a way that Thou would find pleasing, and we take those questions and into meditation, and it's remarkable because when we have that question in our heart, then it's amazing the answers that begin to surface from within long after we've done the meditation. Does that make sense? We make our life a meditation. We ponder these questions in our heart. And as we go through our daily activities, it's amazing what comes to us. And some people think, meditation is about clearing the mind. That's not been my experience. Very difficult to clear the mind. The mind isn't designed to be cleared. The mind actually opens up when we relax the body. Relax the body, the mind opens up. And for the purpose of having focus, we focus on one single thing. And in this step, we're asking specifically for knowledge of God's will for us, as it relates to being a parent, as it relates to being a spouse, as it relates to being an employee, as it relates to being an employer, as it relates to being a sponsor, as it relates to being a friend. No matter what it is, we carry in to our prayer, God, how can I be a better parent? Father, how could I be a better sponsor? Father, how could I be a better contributor in my career choice or occupation? What direction should I take with my life? I go into prayer with those questions, and then I meditate with focus on that question, and then conclude my meditation and go about my daily life. And it's amazing when I have that question in my heart, when I'm seeking and thirsting and hungering after knowledge of God's will for me, it's amazing how the universe will conspire and provide specific insight as to the question I carry in my heart. So it's really important, and it's vital to our recovery, particularly when we think about everything we want and need in life comes from and through other people. And as we have these prayers in our heart, it's amazing how aptitudes in our character surface so we can better understand ourselves, understand God, and understand other people. And as it bleeds into the 12th step, Okay, we're to be carrying this message. And we really do have to become socially adept at reaching people. All of this work, all of this sacrifice, all these inventories and amends and all these things that we're doing, seeking, is for one specific purpose. And that's to carry the message. We become ambassadors of the 12 steps. We become ambassadors of our personal program, ambassadors of our relationship to God, and we carry that into all of our affairs, which means that everybody we interact with should know that we are followers of God. And prayer and meditation is the access point. It's where we find inspiration on how we cultivate this relationship. Now, God ceases to become an idea and suddenly commences to become an experience. The experience of God, a personal relationship with our higher power, and we're seeking a medium for deepening that connection and communicating. It's a two-way street. We're asking God questions, He's providing us the answers. We ask for God inspiration, He provides the ideas. We ask God for ideas, He provides us with insights. It's a two-way street. And if you're not listening, you're never going to hear. You're never going to hear. So it's all about opening our mind and developing that simple discipline. The principle I learned was discipline. The discipline to do the simple things. You know, it's so simple and easy to pray and meditate. It doesn't require a PhD. It's so simple, it's so easy that it's simple and easy not to do. That's the phenomenon. Things that are easy to do are just as easy not to do. So here we develop the discipline of doing it, becoming a habit, almost religious about it, that we ask on a regular basis questions and we listen on a regular basis for answers. And then we begin to make all of our decisions based on the inspiration we receive in that interaction. And it is an interaction. And then when the chips are down and our program is put to the test, where a major setback happens or a huge temptation comes our way to compromise our principles, we have this relationship where we receive insight and inspiration to fall back on. That's the importance of it. So we do it on a regular basis so that, you know, if you call a friend on a regular basis, it's not unusual that when you're in a jackpot to call your friend. This is no different. We are seeking an open line of communication with God, and the step literally promises us that we can, number one, access the knowledge of God's will for us, and number two, we do have the power to carry that will out. He depends upon us. God relies on us. We're to help one another. That's what we're here to do. It's a program of mutual support. It's symbiotic. We rely on them, and they rely on us. And without that mutual reliance, the synergy would never happen. It would never develop into something greater than just one person helping another. The reason it's developed into something greater than one person helping another is because the whole is greater than the sum of the individual parts. Now, today, you can find practitioners of the 12 steps in any civilized country on the planet. It just in fact works. The jury's rendered its verdict. The 12 steps work. And the most important thing I can tell you is that I absolutely know that God is real. He is real. He is a tangible, living, breathing, dynamic force. I've had experiences, I don't want to disclose them here. It's not that they're secret, it's that they're sacred. But if you're not sure and you're struggling with that belief, then just know that I know that He's real. And He's just like the most recited prayer that's ever been said in the history of prayer has been the Lord's Prayer. And the very first phrase in that prayer is, "Our Father who art in heaven." What if that's true? What if there really is a God and he resides in this celestial place called heaven? Wouldn't that make us sons and daughters to a king? And wouldn't that give us a little bit of divine inheritance? If he's all present and omniscient and omnipowerful and all of these great characteristics, and we are his sons and daughters, wouldn't we have a little bit of divine DNA within us? Aren't we God's an embryo, if that's true? And I've never seen anybody prove that it isn't. Think about that. You had to go through everything you went through to get where you are right now. If any one little thing changed, it might have altered the course of where you currently are. Everything is on purpose. The only thing we seek to do here is align ourselves with that purpose and access the resources so we can perpetuate the idea, the good news, that God can heal us, and to tell everybody about it, to get excited about it, to be anxiously engaged in the cause of helping others. Lose yourself in the service of others and you'll find out who you really are. You'll find yourself. You'll discover yourself. Throw yourself without reservation at this work. Seek to improve that relationship with God. The answers will come. Know that I know that's true. And know that I'm not here to lie to you or to, pull the wool over your eyes. I know there's some skeptical people in the world. I don't focus on them. I'm more concerned about what my reputation before God is than before man. And if that makes me unpopular with people, that's fine. But this whole program is spiritual. There's not parts of it that are spiritual. If you haven't discovered by now, this whole thing is about finding God, establishing a relationship with God, and cultivating and developing that relationship to deepen our faith. Find that power, access it, and use it to serve others and help them do the same thing. That's my experience. And I've had experiences that conclusively demonstrate to me that this is what it's about. It really is. I really love you. I want you to know that. I love you. I care about you. This whole effort has been a pleasure for me. And it'll not stop here, but I just want to tell you at this point that I'm on God's team. And I do this work by him, through him, and for him, so I can help reach you. My prayer is that it does. That you'll see the light and you'll grow in the light. Go in light and peace, and remember, the only way out is through radical change. Take care.